all the distinguished dignitaries, and a warm welcome to everyone present here. It is a pleasure to welcome you all today in this virtual summit on Kashmir Tourism and Peace, Uniqueness and Sustainability. This summit would only be possible with the support and guidance of Dr. Reza Sultani, President, Institute of Tourism, Belgium. Thank you, sir. We are honored to have such an esteemed gathering of professionals with us today. The insights and knowledge shared here will be valuable to each one of us. I would like to inform you that this virtual summit is going to live in various countries like London, New York, Paris, Dubai, Malaysia, India, Pakistan, and as well as in China through various social media platforms. And I would also like to thanks to all those viewers. Now, moving forward, I would like to give you a short brief about Kashmir tourism. With every passing day, tourism is becoming more important economic activity in Kashmir. Last year, more than 1 crore tourists have visited this valley. It seems that tourism industry is going to be one of our biggest industry in future. A lot of people from different parts of the country and world travel to different tourism destinations in Kashmir Valley. Kashmir is blessed with immense natural beauty. We have mountains, beautiful lakes, rivers, forests that attracts a number of tourists. Every part of Kashmir Valley is full of opportunities and employment scope, but it needs a high push from the government also. Now, tourism is being considered as an agent also of social change, bridging gaps among nations, regions, and people and helping them to cope up. Jammu and Kashmir is an important tourist destination of the country and has been a place of attraction for more tourists since centuries. The lush green forest, sweet springs, rivers, pictures, alpine sceneries, and pleasant climate of Kashmir Valley have remained an internationally acclaimed tourist destination. This Kashmir basically is facing some problems also, like HR challenges faced by the tourism industry or peace disturbance challenges faced by the tourism industry in Kashmir and many others. Jammu and Kashmir industry today is on a threshold of a big change for large economic gains. However, tourism is much more than an economic activity. It has become a way of life. Without ignoring the problem of the tourism industry and its implications on the future development of tourism industry in Kashmir. Now, for the same, we would encourage you, all the guest speakers, to actively participate by engaging in discussions that we have already started discussing and making this most of this opportunity to learn and creating network. All the distinguished dignitaries from various places will be given approx 8-minute time each to share their views on Kashmir tourism and peace, uniqueness and sustainability. Please, already sir has said, but still we are not going to have any political discussions over here. Now, with the permission of Dr. Reza Sultani, President, Institute of Tourism, Belgium, I would request everyone to start and enlighten us with our precious word as we begin with what we said. Now, let me introduce our first guest, Mr. Ajay Prakash, sir. Mr. Ajay Prakash, sir, is the President of TAFI, Travel Agent Federation of India, and ex-Deputy Chairman of World Trade Travel Agent Association Alliance. Sir has participated in various tourism industry meetings across the world, including addressing the European Tourism Forum. He frequently appears on Indian national television to comment and debate upon aviation and tourism issues. So we welcome you here.
Thank you, Dr. Arora.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, everybody in India. It's still a late afternoon in Geneva, where I am right now. A big thank you to Reza, the Institute of Tourism. They've been doing fantastic work in collating this information from across the world. All the webinars that Reza did during the COVID are a fantastic repository of intellectual stimulation and good wisdom. So thank you for the opportunity to speak here, and I'm delighted to be in this august company where we have so many illustrious people from across the country who are speaking and from across the world who have joined. So, to give you a very quick update, apart from being the president of Travel Agents Federation of India, I also head the IIPT, which is the International Institute for Peace through Tourism. Our founder, president, Dr. Louis Demore, is also on this webinar. So, welcome, Lou, and here we are. The purpose of IIPT is very simple. It is founded on two basic, very simple, but very powerful premises. Number one, that tourism, which is a huge industry, it accounts for almost 10% of global GDP, can become the first global peace industry. And the second one, which is even more relevant to what we are talking today, is that every tourist is potentially an ambassador for peace. Very simple, but very powerful. Incidentally, the theme for this year's International Tourism Day is also tourism and peace. So, this is a very opportune time for us to be talking. Kashmir is really paradise on earth. Right now, I'm in Switzerland, and everybody says Switzerland is beautiful. But I've been to Kashmir, and I can tell you the beauty of Kashmir in all the little places that you go is absolutely immense. The potential, there was a time when all of India tourism hinged on Kashmir. And then we had the troubles, and that changed a lot of things. But fortunately, all that is behind us. Today, Kashmir is entering a new era of peace, of prosperity, and of tourist footfalls. As Dr. Arora pointed out, last year, over 10 million people visited domestic tourism mostly, but they visited Kashmir. Now, that is something that changes the very nature of the destination. And therefore, when you have so many people traveling to a destination, it is very important that we look at sustainability in the tourism. It's very tempting to make a quick buck. But remember that tourism thrives on the natural environment. And therefore, it is very important to care for it. There's an old saying that you do not inherit the earth from your parents, you hold it in trust for your children. And that is the sentiment that must drive all tourism initiatives. So we have to look at carrying capacity, which is, again, in the short term, when things open up, everybody wants to make money. Yes, I mean, tourism is a business. It needs to survive, but it needs to survive sustainably so that it's there for the long run. You and I will be gone in a few years. There will be a whole new set of younger people who will take over this world. We need to preserve it for them. So, therefore, we come to what is called the higher paradigm of tourism. Because tourism has the power to connect people across all boundaries, whether it's race, religion, culture, culinary, whatever you talk about. Tourism can connect you because when you travel, you discover, and if you travel with an open mind and a gentle heart, you discover that all the differences that we think divide us are nothing before all the things that we all as humanity aspire for. All of us want clean air, good homes, good education for our children, the same things. We might express them differently, we might behave differently, but at the end, the human race has only this one planet. And it is our responsibility to sustain it. And tourism, because it is such a big industry, I mean, 10% of global GDP is not small. We had over a billion international tourists 2 years ago. That's that's a huge number. So when people are traveling, it is upon us as stakeholders in the industry, as educators, we have educators here also on this webinar today, to inculcate a sense of responsibility, to tell our travelers when they are traveling that there is more than merely going and seeing a place and taking pictures. You need to connect with the people. You need to do things with them because everywhere that you go, and if you do something, it connects you much closer to the people, to the destination. And every time people come back to do the same things, they come back to ski in Switzerland, they go back to gamble in Las Vegas. So if they do things, that's what connects people to people. And this is the only industry that's only about people. We do not construct anything, we are not technologically good. We are about people. We need to understand that. Going forward, there are two things that Kashmir needs to look at. One is that the popular destinations are being overrun. In the season, you can't get a room, you can't get a flight. So what is the need of the hour? The need of the hour is to disperse tourists to lesser known destinations. I mean, everybody goes to Srinagar, everybody goes to Gulmarg, everybody goes to Pelgam. But there's Dodh Patri, there's the Gurez Valley. I mean, there are so many places which are undiscovered and very beautiful. As practitioners of the tourism industry, it is incumbent upon us to create this dispersal because then and only then will the local communities benefit. You know, Dr. Talib Rifai, who used to be the Secretary General of the United Nations World Tourism Organization, said this beautifully. You cannot have five-star tourism in a three-star community. The community, which is the host destination, needs to tangibly benefit from tourism if tourism is to create a sustainable model. And therefore, it is very important that we look at how do we disperse people, how do we get them involved with the local community, how do we get the local community to accept the tourists that are coming. For this, a certain amount of sensitization is needed, which is going to come from everybody who's part of the industry. The other challenge that Kashmir faces is a lack of trained manpower. That is a huge need, and therefore it is important that the government also makes it easier and gives incentives for skilling, for upskilling, for skill development, specifically, sorry, for the tourism industry. Some years ago, as IIPT, we created a center of excellence at the University of Jammu. The idea was to get the students involved, to create opportunities for them to learn new things and to practice them. Now, this needs a sustained effort, not only from the industry, but also from the government. People were talking about whether tourism has been recognized as an industry in Kashmir. Well, it might have been recognized, but the benefits need to flow to the people. And only then does it become meaningful. So, as Kashmir embarks on this new era, elections are going to be held very soon in Kashmir. The time of peace and prosperity is here. Kashmir needs to move forward and Kashmir needs to integrate, and the rest of the country needs to support Kashmir in this endeavor. There are crafts, there are music, there's dance, there's the Sufi music. All these are part of Kashmiri culture, apart from the fantastic food. These are all things that are necessary to be brought out before the world and shown as something unique because Kashmir is truly paradise on earth. Let's all work towards making Kashmir a success story sustainably. Thank you very much. Back to you, Dr. Arora.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for sharing your insight and expertise. Sir said correctly that Kashmir, basically the beauty of Kashmir is immense. I also visited this Kashmir, the Pahalgam, Gulmarg, Sonmarg. It's very beautiful. The place is very beautiful. And this Kashmir should move towards peace and prosperity, as Sir said. And tourism basically needs to survive with sustainability. That is very important. Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would like to invite our second guest, that is Mr. Faiz Bakshi, sir. Sir is here. Faiz Bakshi, sir.
Can't.
Yes, sir. Mr. Faiz Bakshi, sir. The sir fourth term as Secretary, General Kashmir Chamber of Commerce and Industry, KCCI. It is 100-year old and the fourth oldest chamber of India. He is the founder, convener, trustee of Environmental Policy Group, EPG, a non-profit organization engaged in conservation of natural resources. Sir, you are welcome here. Faiz Bakshi, sir.
You are muted, sir.
Faiz Bakshi, sir, please.
I think he has a problem with his microphone. Dr. Aurora, maybe we can move to the next speaker till we solve the technical issues.
Okay, no problem. Professor Venkata Rao, sir.
Yeah, am I audible to you?
Oh, yes, sir, yes. Professor Rao, sir, Professor of Tourism Studies, School of Management, Dean of Student Welfare, Pondicherry University, Puducherry, India. He is the member of Executive Council, Academic Council, and the Court of Pondicherry University. Sir is having about 30 years of teaching and research experience. Professor Rao has prepared tourism policy for the government of Puducherry and is the task force member of the Tourism and Hospitality panel of CII during COVID-19 pandemic period. So, you're welcome, sir.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, let me just open my presentation. As I said that I have a small presentation to make my point of view within the given time, and Shruti Arora and other organizing members, I am very much thankful to you all for extending invitation for me. So, Shruti Arora, my slide is visible?
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Yeah. So I just fully agree with the earlier speaker about attractions of Jammu Kashmir, and which is equal to Switzerland, even at par with any other similar kind of destinations across the world. So since the topic is the Kashmir and peace, and even this year, the World Tourism Day, the theme is tourism and peace. I thought let me just talk a little bit about in general tourism and how it is an instrument for peace and progress in the society across the world. So when I look at the peace, what is it? And we all know that the philosophy of Gandhiji, and which completely around non-violence. So wherever when you just look at the peace, that's supposed to be without any violence. And the violence, we know that there are several reasons for violence, especially the conflict. The conflict based on the several reasons, right? And similarly, if you look at the Martin Luther King, and true peace is not merely the absence of the tensions; it is the presence of the justice. So when you look at the Martin Luther King, and his point of view is completely justice, that maybe local community or even the stakeholders who are involved in the tourism, they all supposed to get the equal share out of the tourism, the development and tourism progress anywhere that happens, including Jammu Kashmir, right? So then let me just look at the piece and what is it all about, and then we are just talking about this particular connotations. The piece is all about the creation and maintenance of the relationship of proven values and then worth. So the society, when you look at in general, it is a web of relations among all its members, and where you can see the tourism is one important component. And for last several years, no, we we are around the tourism, as one of the important the segment of the society. And in the recent past, you can see there is a huge the change, and then the change of the lifestyle, and the demand is multifold ways enhancing for the tourism, and we know that actually given the kind of the huge recognition as it's a major contributor for the various nations economy, and then the global economy as as we know that from the various reports, right? So when you look at this, the goal of this piece is all about the restoring and then building. So if at all anything, any tensions or any kind of conflict across, so we need to look at that, what are the reasons, and then how we can restore, and how we can just build that, and especially the creating trust and then values, re-establishing the trust and values in the given the conditions. So in that context, you can see there are two connotations as far as the negative and then positive piece developed by the John Gulton. The negative tourism, the negative piece is all about, it is what the piece is existence, including the only the absence of direct violence. So violence is not there, but it's under control. But the tensions are not out of the complete the boundaries. So it's a kind of temporary restoration. So it is a negative kind of piece, and at any time anything may happen. Whereas the positive piece is completely absence of the negative piece, and then it includes the absence of the structural violence, and you will not find any kind of thing, and then harmonious and then healthy relations among the societal members across the the diversity. So the people supposed to live together with a kind of enabling system, and everyone wish the progress and then prosperity for the for all. So that is the a positive piece. And then in this juncture, if you just look at the positive piece, all about, we can see the high per capita income, and then resilience, and then better environmental outcome, and then high GDP growth per annum, and then better performance on SDGs. So we all know that 17 SDGs, and then how these are implemented across, and its goal by 2030, and where we are. Even if you just implement successfully SDGs, and then you can see that the huge impact on the peace and then progress in the society. So what extent these are all implemented, and the many dimensions of these SDGs are related to tourism. Tourism has equally linkage, and then the more the contribution for the SDG implementations in the society, right? So when I see that the Global Peace Index 2023 in the recent past, so this as far as this the Global Peace Index is concerned, which is given by the Institute for the Economics and then Peace, IEP. So as per that, there are three important things which are actually determined what is actually the peace. So the societal, the safety and security is one important dimension. Ongoing domestic and then international conflict across the borders. So within those the nations, how the societal safety and security, and when you look at the cross borders, how actually the relations are, the international relations and global a kind of connectivity based on the harmonious and then understanding across the borders. So that is the second point. The third point is militarianism, and giving importance and thrust, and even having the military force and then spending on the military, and what extent that is the military forces in the nations. They are the three important things taken into considerations to assess the Global Peace Index. When I look at this particular dimension, look at the highlights of the GPI 2023. So where you can see the least peaceful the countries and the most peaceful countries, and then no data is available. So in that direction, if you look at some of the important things, that the overall the peace is decreasing year after year by 0.42%. So when you look at this, Iceland, which is actually the most the peaceful country, where you can see the 24th rank of Tourism Development Index as far as World Economic Forum rank 2024 is concerned. So I have taken this a kind of linking how tourism is really influencing and then giving the positive the result on the tourism. And at the same time, if you look at the conversely, that Afghanistan and other the countries where Yemen, Syria, then South Sudan, and then Democratic Republic of the Congo. So where you can see that the least peaceful, and these countries, and then especially in Afghanistan, it is not there in the latest the TDI ranking of 2024 prepared by the World Economic Forum. So that means you can see that, so where there is a more insecurity and less peace. So there you will find that the people are not going, and then tourism promotion and the people mobility from one place to another place as a tourist, that is very, very less. So that means the peace restoration is very important. Then so there the administrator, then the bureaucrats supposed to look at how they can just create that kind of vibes, and then perception among the communities, to just give an indication that we are the peaceful nations, and then the people can come very comfortably. So even if you look at Jammu and Kashmir in Indian perspective, so where you can see that which is occupying 126th spot in the ranking of GPI, the Gold the Peace Index, the global level. The India has got 126th. However, you can see there is the fast mobility and the fast movement and progress as far as India is concerned in terms of the global peace index, and at the same time, even this the tourism development index also, the India is in a very, very good progress, and maybe thanks to the present governments which are actually giving the priority for tourism and promoting tourism as one of the major the brand building exercise for the nation at this point of time. So from that point of view also, the curbing any kind of violent or even some kind of maintaining the relations between the neighboring countries, and then other the part of the world. And then so even you can see our honorable prime minister is visiting frequently, and then he has got several invitation from many countries to visit their nations. And once this the heads of the nations that are visiting and then developing some kind of rapport, you'll find a kind of harmonious atmosphere, and that is indirectly just influencing the promotion of the tourism. And then so that will give the kind of good edge over the peace and then the progress of the communities. And when I look at this global peace and then the cooperations, how it is required, and as far as the peace is concerned, is all about the individual, personal level, community level, and environmental. There are three important dimensions when you look at the peace. How we can restore and how we can just build the peace in the society. But whereas if you look at the risk perception data reveals that the geo-economic confrontations and in-state the conflict, and then societal polarization and misinformation, then disinformation. So all ongoing global challenges that are likely to become even more pressing in the next decade. So this is actually the statement I have taken from the recent 2024 World Economic Forum. So where they were talking about the leveraging travel and tourism for global connectivity and then peace and then cultural exchange. So when you look at from that point of view, tourism and travel will become an increasingly the vital player in the fostering global connectivity by facilitating economic and interdependency, persona to the person's interactions, and then cultural exchange. So you can see that when people are moving from one place to another place, so there is interface and interactions and experiencing the new culture, new traditions, and new systems, and the new the culinary, and then you can see that everything is new. So in that process, what happens? The people will develop a lot of understanding and then ability to know each other. So that actually avoid any kind of confusions and then understanding and misinterpretations, and then even information also the people just access, and then they will understand what is exactly how we can just live together in a piece of the peaceful condition. In that, we can see that leverage of the travel and tourism is one important dimension. So I think I fully agree with the earlier speaker who was actually talking about the various dimensions of international the peace the building agencies. And equally you can see on UNWTO in the statute itself, it's clearly mentioned that the tourism is all about economic development, international understanding, and the peace and prosperity. So once we just look at the sustainability in the place, so rest will be taken care of. So as long as there is unsustainability, when the things are not included, and it is it is not included, and if it is excluded, then you can see all types of the issues related to the peace. And so now, even if you look at the government policies, especially in India, so we are always talking about, even the government's also talking about inclusive growth. So that is a good sign, and that is the reason might be. So now India is on the right track, and then moving towards in all progresses. So in that perspective, if you look at the United Nations, which includes the tourism as a passport to the peace. So if you want to restore, the governments can use the tourism as one important passport, and then a kind of agent and ambassador for the peace. So it actually identified in 1967, and the 1980s also declared by the World Tourism Organization in Manila So that for the first time highlighted the tourism as a force for the global peace. So this is already released, and then several decades back. Now we are in the process to look at how this is going to be really beneficial for the entire world community, and maybe that is the reason. So this year World Tourism Day, the theme is the tourism and peace. So if you look at the tourism and then reality, so I don't want to mention all these things, and then so whatever the way the tourism is influencing, showing the impact on the society, so that maybe the creating employment and then generating the revenue livelihood for the poor people, and then including the people in the entire process of the tourism, the progress, and giving importance for the pro tourism and the rural tourism and traditional the cultural way. So in all these dimensions, we can see the people actually uplifted and then enabled because of the tourism, and in the process you can see a kind of understanding, and then the people will not venture into any kind of conflict and then differentiation with others. So this is the one important dimensions. So when you look at the impact of the tourism, so one important dimension is, as I know earlier speaker Prakash is mentioning about International Institute of Peace, and then through the tourism, IIPT. So as far as this is concerned, the tourism, it's a kind of ambassador for the peace. So we all agreed on that. But what extent we are really implementing, that is the one thing that we need to look at as an academician. And as a a kind of the consultant, I can just look at the administrators supposed to keep these things in their mind when they are just making kind of policies, and ensure that the sustainability as an inclusiveness, and the local community really benefited. Because I fully agree with earlier speaker and what he was mentioning about. So when you want to build a 5-star tourism, and that is not possible where the local community is a 3-star interface. So it is a kind of equality that we have to maintain with a mutual benefit and mutual understanding, right? So in that perspective, if you look at the Indian ethos and the tourism promoting peace, how the India has a kind of edge, and it actually even reflected in the last our summit in the international level. So where our Prime Minister clearly mentioned about Indian traditional values and sanskaras, how these are all really a kind of the boost and gift for the entire world. So if you look at the sanskaras of India, such as universal love, so we just we love and like everybody, and then brotherhoodness, tolerance. So because if you look at India, that is one of the a kind of brand building the feature for the India, that is a tolerance. So we have the tolerance, and then with that we can ensure that we can receive anybody with a warmth, and then a kind of the service mind, and then acceptancy. We have an acceptancy to whoever comes. And at the end, from the tourism point of view, look at the Atithi Deva Bhava, so which is actually a brand building exercise for tourism exclusively in India. So these things we can generalize and then spread across the globe, so that we can just ensure the peace and then progress among all the nations, right? So that is the one important thing. And that last, I want to just close my talk with the a kind of the statement that was given by the Sir Robert Baden-Powell. So where Third International Congress of Moral Education, Geneva, that happened in 1922, which is actually very much relevant to today's talk, and then today's theme of World Tourism Day. So let me just read out this, and to get a kind of message. If we apply love in place of the fear, we at once again the domination of poverty, crime, and then diseases in our individual countries, and we gain peace and between the nations through mutual trust, honor, and then goodwill. So you can see that how actually the peace is restored and revitalized for the future generations. So there you can see the sustainability is inbuilt mechanism once we just ensure the understanding and then amicable relations among all the members. So with that, let me just close my talk, and then maybe at the end we can take some of the questions on this particular dimension. Then as far as Kashmir is concerned, and of course I just didn't talk much about the Kashmir and then the peace, and earlier even the speakers are there, and even the future also maybe the speakers will talk about this particular dimension. I thought let me just give you the overall outer layer for this particular talk, how the tourism and peace are interrelated, and then work together for the progress and then sustainable growth and development of our society. Right. Thank you very much, Shruti Arora.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sir has given one data, that is India is on 126th rank. It is a good progress, but still I think we need to work on this to make a better position.
This
Thank you so much, sir.
the Global Peace Index.
Yes, according to the global peace. Yes, according to the global peace index.
Yeah. peace index,
Yeah.
and whereas the tourism, we have a good progress. I think now it is 13 or something, and there is a very good progress as far as tourism and
Yes,
travel
according to
index
the
of
last
World
year,
Economic
it's
Forum.
good,
Yes, yes,
but
this
still
is
we
very
need
good.
to work on. Yes,
Still
still
need
we
to
need to.
work, and then I think we are in the right track. So that is
Yes.
actually what we are understanding, and then we are at par with any better, the countries as far as tourism development is concerned. We are very happy for that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Now, I would like to invite our next guest, that is Professor Ravi Kant Modi, sir, R.K. Modi, sir, who is a distinguished faculty member, bringing with him an extensive 30 years of teaching experience. His expertise is further complemented by his administrative roles, including being the examination in charge and nodal officer. After his dual masters in both commerce and management, he earned his PhD from University of Rajasthan. His contribution in research solidifies his position as a highly accomplished researcher and scholar. Dr. Modi is currently working as a professor and dean, School of Commerce and Management, Nirvan University, Jaipur, Rajasthan, India. Sir, we welcome you here.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Shruti, for the nice
Thank
introduction.
you. Thank you.
And good evening, namaskar, and assalamu alaikum to all of you. First of all, I wish to congratulate the organizers, especially Dr. Reza Sultan, President of Institute of Tourism, for organizing a virtual summit on such an interesting topic. Also, I wish to greet all my co-speakers on this platform today who have joined from different parts of the world and are expert in their respective fields. I especially would like to thank Dr. Anukriti Sharma, who is a senior academician and a highly talented woman who has introduced me in this platform. I'm sure you all know, but as an Indian, I wish to remind that Kashmir is fondly known as the paradise on the earth, and the discussion related to Kashmir thrills all the Indians. Today, I want to highlight how tourism can serve as a powerful catalyst for peace in a region as culturally rich and stunning as Kashmir, known as paradise on the earth. Kashmir is blessed with snow-capped mountains, serene lakes, and lush valleys, attracting millions of tourists each year. However, this region has also faced decades of conflicts and unrest, which has impacted both the local population and tourism industry. But there is a silver lining. Tourism holds tremendous potential as a bridge to peace, both socially and economically. In 2019, just before COVID, Kashmir received approximately 1.1 million domestic tourists and around 50,000 international tourists, even amidst political uncertainty. These numbers represent more than just visitors, they symbolize a growing interest in engaging with the people, culture, and landscapes of Kashmir. When tourists visit, they interact with locals, learn about their traditions, and contribute to the local economy. This cultural exchange fosters mutual understanding and breaks down preconceived notions. Tourists can tourists return home as advocates for the region, telling stories of warm hospitality and rich history they experienced. Economically, tourism is a vital for Kashmir's development. The region's tourism sector provides jobs to over 1 lakh people directly and supports 1,000 more indirectly through industries such as handicrafts, transportation, and hospitality. This economic upliftment is crucial for peace building because it provides stability and opportunities for the local community. Tourism contribute about 7% to Jammu and Kashmir's GDP, and with proper infrastructure and support, this figure can grow even higher, reinforcing peace through economic security. More importantly, tourism connects people globally, creating awareness about the human stories behind the headlines. As tourists engage with Kashmir's communities, they experience firsthand the region's resilience, hope, and determination for peace. This understanding challenges the dominant narratives of conflicts and highlights Kashmir's potential for growth and prosperity. I mean to say that by supporting tourism, we can help Kashmir build a bridge between its past and a more peaceful future. In the second segment, I wish to talk about the importance of sustainable tourism in Kashmir, a region known for its beauty and cultural richness, while tourism plays a significant role in Kashmir's economy. It also poses challenges to fragile environment and culture heritage. In 2022, Jammu and Kashmir welcomed 18.8 million tourists, a record high in recent years. While this influx is good for the economy, it also places significant pressure on the environment, local resources, and communities. Therefore, is not just an option, but a necessity for preserving Kashmir's beauty. Consider Dal Lake, one of the region's most iconic tourist spots. Over the past few decades, the lake has faced pollution due to unregulated tourism, including untreated sewage and excessive boat traffic. Dal Lake, which once covered over 25 square kilometers, has shrunk to less than 15 square kilometers due to encroachment and environmental degradation. This is a clear example of how unchecked tourism can harm the environment. However, there is a hope. The government and local communities are beginning to take steps towards promoting eco-friendly tourism. The Jammu and Kashmir Tourism Department has introduced initiatives to promote ecotourism, focusing on minimizing environmental impact while offering tourists an authentic experience. For example, trekking and camping activities are now regulated and steps are being taken to reduce plastic waste in sensitive areas. Sustainable tourism also includes preserving Kashmir's culture heritage. The region is home to a rich tradition of handicrafts, including Pashnima shawls, carpets, and etc. By promoting these crafts through tourism, we are not only preserve the local tourism, but also support the artisans who depend on this trade. In fact, the handicraft industry employs over 2 lakh people in Kashmir, and much of their livelihood is tied to tourism. By encouraging tourists to buy locally made products, we help sustain these traditional industries. Lastly, tourists themselves can play a crucial role in sustainability. Small actions like choosing eco-friendly accommodations, reducing plastic usage, and respecting local customs can make a significant difference. If every visitor to Kashmir made a conscious effort to travel sustainably, the impact on the region's environment and economy would be profound. With these views, I wish to thank all once again for conducting this summit and inviting me to be a part of it. I am pleased to listen to such an eminent personalities and have been able to put my views. Thank you so much once again. Thank you, Dr. Shuti.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir has said that Kashmir tourism can be more focusedly, you can say, you can promote more focusedly through cultural and as well as promoting the traditional industries, the handicrafts item, which are the basics of Kashmir, we can say, and with the help of local community also, local food, local cuisines also. And moreover, with the help of storytelling also, which is a very old form, we can say storytelling. We used to hear these stories from our grandparents. So in that way, we can promote this Kashmir tourism. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
I would like to invite our next guest, Mr. Mohammed Suhail Dar, sir. Sir is here. Mohammed Suhail Dar, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Sir is here. Sir is a 44 years old entrepreneur having 2 decades of experience in tourism and hospitality sector. Sir has started his career in one of the leading hotels of the world, Taj West and Bangalore, as a front office executive, and later joined Institute of Hotel Management, Srinagar, as contractual assistant lecturer for a period of 2 years. He also served as a reservation manager at Vivanta by Taj, Srinagar, Kashmir for 2 years. At the age of 32, he left his five-figure salary job to start his own venture, Kashmir Travel Advisor. And in the year 2022, from March to December, Sir Kashmir Travel Advisor has served high-profile guests like top management of Tata Group, giants of Indian rice industry, and MD of Liberty Group. Sir, we are very honored to have you here. We welcome you.
Thank you, Dr. Shruti Arora, and many thanks to all the viewers who are watching us across the globe right now and in India and in Jammu and Kashmir. And many thanks to Dr. Reza Sultani, who's been kind enough to organize this virtual summit, virtual webinar. And it could not have been possible without him. And we, as Kashmiris, owe it to him. And many thanks to this star-studded panel who are here discussing this topic, Kashmir, peace, tourism, and many other things. I was quite impressed by the speech given by Mr. Jaiprakash. I think he has spoken brilliantly about certain things about tourism, Kashmir, and the way forward. I particularly liked the point where he pointed out he was juxtaposing the beauty of Kashmir with that of Switzerland. I wanted to discuss that now that he has already spoken about it, and I don't think I need to, deliberate on that once again. You see, I am a learner, a student of tourism, and having worked in industry, having worked in academics, in operations, and now being in a part of the travel and tourism trade, I can safely tell you that, there have been many occasions where we have not been able to promote Kashmir as it should have been promoted. We may cite reasons like conflict, etc., etc. But you see, if we look at the post 9/11 era, the world has changed. No country on planet Earth can claim to be the safest place. We have seen places like Hong Kong where riots have taken place. We've seen, peaceful places where there was no violence. Violence has taken place. The point that I'm trying to make over here is Kashmir has seen violence in the past, but that violence was kind of portrayed in a negative light, especially in the international media, etc. I don't want to discuss about that. Let the past be set aside now, and let's look forward. The governments should play a constructive role in promoting tourism globally. We do not have sufficient number of foreign tourist arrivals in Kashmir. Like Mr. Jaiprakash said, if Kashmir could be compared to Switzerland in terms of its beauty, Mr. Salim Beg, my senior who's been DG Tourism over here, he'll be talking about heritage. He's an expert in that. He'll be talking about arts and crafts, heritage. Mr. Faiz Bakshi, they will be talking about he's been representing Kashmir Chamber of Commerce. And we have a lot to offer in terms of natural beauty, in terms of arts and crafts, in terms of culture, in terms of many other things. We have a lot to offer. Few things are there we have not been able to focus on. One is the promotion of the destination. For that, government has to take some part of the blame. Stakeholders have been, quite enthusiastic about the promotion. But if the government has not been cooperating, then that's an issue. Now is the right time. The global media is saying peace has prevailed in Kashmir. Tourists are saying there is no better place than Kashmir in terms of peace. Secondly, I was astonished to look at the travel advisory of the US government, where we have been placed at level 4, which is the high risk place to visit. I think the US government also should look into this. Why are we, a place like Gulmarg, you're placing at a level 4 advisory, the State Department of US? It's a joke. You're putting Pahalgam at level 4. It's a joke. And these jokes are to be addressed. I think the fraternity, the travel fraternity of Kashmir, the travel fraternities, the associations of India, our external affairs ministry has to take up these issues with the US State Department and the other international governments to lift the advisories to this place. I would not like to, speak much about these issues. Like, we don't want to discuss politics over here. But these are the areas of concern. In terms of natural destinations and in terms of preservation of these destinations, and especially the sustainable tourism that we talk about, yes, Mr. Jai Prakash talked about Dadpatri, for example. He talked about, if you go to Dadpatri, you would not find a good hotel to stay there. You would not. If you even good food to eat there. But that place is a magical place, whether it is for trekking, whether it's for leisure tourism. It's a magic. I'm just quoting an example of one of the places, but there is no infrastructure. Now, when we talk about infrastructure, we're not talking about constructing the concrete jungles, constructing five-star hotels. In today's day and age, we can have sustainable 3-star, 4-star category tents. We can, like Mr. Jai Prakash talked about, community participation. We had the government of Jammu and Kashmir lately discussing about the, what do you call this, bread and breakfast scheme, the homestays. Let the inhabitants of those areas participate. Let there be a private public partnership, government partnership, and let these people earn. Let this not be limited to the big hoteliers, big corporate houses. Let it not be the tourism, the every penny of tourism there has to be an equitable distribution amongst the society. And lastly, I would want to focus on the enforcement part of it. I think stakeholders have raised this issue as well, the local stakeholders, the tourism associations, but somewhere the government has to come up with the control mechanism. If there is a pollution, how to address those issues, the government has to address that. You see, unless you put up penalties, you have a vigilant mechanism, you cannot control pollution. You cannot merely by saying that you will educate the people, you will educate the masses and control this, the decimation, the destructive things that are taking place. You cannot control that. The government's enforcement has to come into place. There have to be penalties, and that has to be watched and regulated. And I thank you once again, and I think this is sufficient from my side. I would like to listen to my seniors. I'm more interested in that. Thank you very much for inviting me here.
Thank you so much, sir. Where sir has said one different point, that local stakeholders and government, as well as government, they play an important role in promoting the tourism. Oh, before just
Dr.
welcome.
Arora, if I may add something, I just want to thank, I forgot actually, and I think you forgot to thank
Yes, I'm doing.
Arora
Yes.
Sharma, Anukrati Sharma, that she has been helping to organize this.
Yes.
And many speakers. I've done lots of work with her. She's a brilliant, she's a really a top professional in tourism industry, and we look forward to work with her. Thank you so much, and I hope she gets better. She gets just some flu, so thank you so much, Dr.
Yes, before welcoming the other guest, even I also want to thank Dr. Anukrati Sharma, ma'am. She is the Associate Professor at the Department of Commerce and Management, University of Kota, Rajasthan, as well as the Director of Skill Development Center in the same university. And due to some medical reasons, she is not able to moderate here. And she has given me this opportunity and to just make networks with you. So a special thanks to Dr. Anukrati Sharma, ma'am. Now I would like to welcome our next guest, Professor N.K. Joshi, sir. Joshi sir, N.K. Joshi sir.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Professor N.K. Joshi sir is the professor in the Department of Commerce in the Department of Computer Science and Applications at Modi Institute of Management and Technology, Kota, Rajasthan, India. He is the director of Modi Institute of Management and Technology since last 12 years. He is the Dean on Faculty of Computer Applications at Rajasthan Technical University, Kota, from last 9 years. He is the chairperson of DRC, Computer Applications, Rajasthan Technical University for 6 years and a member of Academic Council of various universities. He has got a total of 25 years of experience in academics and research. So we welcome you here.
So, good evening to all of you.
Good
First of
evening,
all,
sir.
I thanks to Dr. Raza for organizing such an conference. So it's an opportunity for all of us to listen to such a great personalities. And also, I would like to thank Dr. Anukriti Sharma for providing this opportunity to be here. So I fully agree with all the speakers. And of course, tourism is one of the biggest part of economic contributor in any country. And as India have one line that is called the Atiti Devo Bhava. So our ancestor knows the importance of tourism. That's why they call it Atiti Devo Bhava. And tourism has an impact not only on the economy, it has impact on the environment, social exchange, culture. And I will talk about the sustainable tourism, and I will talk about that how we can achieve this sustainability through the artificial intelligence, that the technology. Because tourism is nowadays only successful when we have a sustainable tourism, and this is going on. But use of technology is very much needed, and AI plays a very important role in this. It is already started. So I will put some light on this. So this thing has been talked about, the tourism and the peace, the movement of people all around is not for the leisure, it is for the not for the daily life, it is for the leisure. So Institute of Economics and Peace research finds, just a minute. Okay. That the strongest link between tourism and the peace can be found when analyzing the positive peace. So IEP defined positive peace as a attributes, institutions and structure that create and sustain peaceful society. So these are the positive peace pillars or the points: well-functioning government, equitable distribution of resources, free flow of information, good relationship with the neighbors, high level of human capital, acceptance of the right of others, low level of corruption, and the sound boundary business environment. So obviously, the maintenance of an open and sustainable tourism sector will equate to high peace level, and particularly about the attitude, institutions, and structure that define peaceful society. So countries which are achieving the sustainable tourism tends to be more peaceful because they are having a good environment. Their people are satisfied. Tourists are contributing, not disturbing the locals. So these are the general definition of sustainable tourism, which minimize the negative impact on the environment, society, culture, and advocates about the responsible resource management, community engagement, the culture preservation, aiming to ensure the long-term viability of the tourism destination and the well-being of local community, which is very much important if I talk about the Kashmir. So scenario of tourism in the Kashmir. These are some figures, some fact. In the year 2023, 20.2 million tourists visited Kashmir, including the 50,000 foreign visitor. And several survey indicates one thing, that the glacier in Pelgam has shrunk. number one, by 18% over the past 3 decades. And the lake has decreased from 22 square kilometer to 10 square kilometer. These are the side effect, and that should be addressed as a part of sustainable tourism. And obviously, tourism is contributing the large 7% of GDP in the field. So, the solution is the negative environmental impact of the tourism. We have to promote the sustainable tourism, and in that, the AI plays a vital role in this. So, AI has the potential to contribute significantly to sustain tourism development by optimizing resources use, reduce wastage, and enhance visitor experience. Sustainable tourism is a growing trend globally and need to adopt sustainable practices to maintain its tourism industry's long-term viability. Tourism is a vital contributor to economy, but it also has an environmental and social impact. So, small glimpses how this artificial intelligence is affecting the tourism and the travel industry. One is itinerary management is done through the AI. Any visitor, any travel agency, as well as the tourists themselves use the AI for their itinerary management, reservation, flight, hotel booking. And second is the predictive analysis is done on the basis of collected large database that what would be the season, what will the more potential of tourism density, and what type of tourist will visit in what season. And then there is a one pointed chatbot for the customer services. It is heavily used to provide the services to all the travelers, travel agents. And one is very highly used, that is searching for the reservation in hotels through the AI chatbots and the things. So AI has some part. One is for the machine learning, another is a natural language processing, computer vision, and data mining tools. These technologies, these are the part of the AI which is being used and will be used for maintaining the sustainability of the tourism. And these tools are enables machines on the basis of large database to perform the tasks typically which require the human intelligence. These capabilities can be asked for diverse applications, including data analysis, pattern recognition, and robotic automation, opening door for innovative solution across various sectors. One such example is the AI-powered analytics. It identifies the pattern of unsustainable practices, excessive resource consumption of any destination. The data can be analyzed that whether the consumption is excessive, wastage is there by the tourist, the data can be collected and analyzed. And that helps to maintain and curb the problems. Another is the real-time monitoring. Again, a data that is for the air and water quality, noise pollution, biodiversity. Such kind of things can be done through the AI. Real-time data has been collected, and then sensor technology combined with the AI power analytics and continuous gather and analyze the environment data, identifying changes and anomalies that may signal environment degradation or pollution incident. So this is another point. One more example is data mining tools. Prediction of tourist preferences. Data can be, history of the data can be collected and analyzed so that offer recommendation that are both tourist friendly and environment friendly. Optimize the dynamic route planning through the AI boards and suggest fuel efficient routes for the tourist. Socio-economic environmental machine learning based models identify the low cost and the sustainable culturally rich location that assist in managing the over tourism. Over tourism is nowadays a very much a problematic because those locations, those are destinations which are less known to the tourist are get unexplored. This is going to help. So all over the world, the AI is transforming the experience of the travel industry. Like these cases, one is the AI-driven travel chatbots voice-based digital assistant, automatic facial recognition, AI baggage handling solution, robotics technology for self-services, which is there, and the AI-powered flight forecasting apps. Because we have make a plan, we make a reservation in advance, and because of unpredictable circumstances, weather condition, someone has to cancel their program. So these AI-powered flight forecasting apps helps. So this is a comparative between the AI tourism and the conventional tourism. At some points, like tourists previously in the conventional tourism, they depend on the travel agents, their books, their information brochures. Whereas in the AI tourism, they will use AI powered virtual assistants, chatbots to get personalized recommendation and travel advice based on their preferences. Tourists may have to stand in a long lines or wait for hours to get tickets or entry to popular tourist spots. Whereas in AI tourism, AI powered ticketing system and facial recognition technology can speed up the entry process and reduce waiting times. Yeah, this is the third point is the great thing that tourists may face a language barrier and difficulty communicating with the locals. So AI powered translation app and device can help tourists communicate with local in their own language. It will be a change maker in the field of tourism, and tourists may miss out an offbeat or lesser known destination and experience due to lack of information that I spoken. AI powered recommendation engine can suggest lesser known destinations and experience based on the tourist interest and past travel history. This is also very useful. And tourists may have to deal with unexpected delays, cancellation, and emergency during their trip. AI powered monitoring system can track weather condition, flight schedule, and other factors to help prevent and manage unexpected situations. And tourists may have limited access to real-time information and update about their trips, whereas the AI powered machine learning tools, their apps can provide real-time update on flight schedule, hotel reservation, and other travel-related information. So objective of use of technology, use of AI is to preserve the pride of Kashmir for the next generation. You have to preserve this. That is, we all know the Kashmir is known as paradise on the earth. Future generation should have this with them. And for this, our goal is sustainable tourism with the help of AI. Coming generation, coming 100 years should know and should visit and should see the beauty of Dal Lake, Nishat Bagh, Himalayan black bear, Himalayan marmot, culture, and economy of Kashmir. We have to preserve all these things by achieving the sustainable tourism with the help of AI. So both the things are there. In one side, we have a technology. Another side, the girl is there with pigeon. So we have maintained the originality of the Kashmir. Thanks for my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for focusing more on sustainable tourism through minimizing negative impact socially, environmentally, culturally, with the help of new technology that is AI, artificial intelligence. Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would like to call our next guest, that is Mr. Salim Beg, sir. Sir, you're muted. Mr. Salim Beg, sir.
Okay.
Sir has served in Jammu and Kashmir state government from 1975 to 2006 in various capacities, including Director and Managing Director, Handicrafts and Handlooms, Director General Tourism. His tenure between 2001 to 2006 coincided with the revival of tourism after a decade of insurgency that resulted in collapse of the industry. 2006 onwards took over the responsibility of convener and the head Indian National Trust for Art and Cultural Heritage, a heritage activist and practitioner engaged in advocacy and programs that have led to evolving strategies, influencing policies, and legal framework for preservation of cultural heritage in Jammu and Kashmir. sur- supervised mapping of heritage properties throughout Jammu and Kashmir. Sir, we welcome you here.
Thank you. We're already an hour and an hour and a half in the webinar, so I'll try to be as short as possible. First, I must compliment the organizers for organizing this very important webinar. And it has really come at a very critical time for Kashmir, when we have reached a situation where we have to rethink on policy parameters, on investment parameters. Somebody talked about human resource, the whole gamut, which is pertaining to tourism in Kashmir. First, let me mention that when somebody says Kashmir got 10 million tourists, it sounds very big, but it's also a big alarm. We are a very small place geographically. We are really overrated in terms of the geography. The total land area in Kashmir is about 2,000 miles, just that much, which is about a district in Rajasthan. A very small place. But the place is so interesting, so beautiful, and so abundant in natural resources that this space looks quite big. This 10 million figure includes mostly a large number of religious tourists who come to Vishnu Devi. But now that the figures as they are presented for the whole UT, so this figure is quoted. Otherwise, it's something around 20, about 2 million, 2.5 million. After complimenting the institution, I also thank the speakers for touching on the critical aspects of the industry. I would like to take up from where Dr. Venkat Rao left about Global Peace Index and all. First, let me tell you, Kashmir has learned the hard way the stake we have in tourism. And it's not just peace, it's our harmony as well. When we lost tourism, we did not lose an economic segment only. We also lost a lot. A culturally compact geography saw lots of disturbances around. And tourism, along with other social parameters, was a big casualty. I would like to talk about certain things because that perhaps has not been touched here. And I would like the speakers, the experts to take note of this. Now, what is peace and what is absence of violence? We had phases in Kashmir. As I said, we are the largest stakeholders in peace because that's giving us tourism and, as I mentioned, other advantages as well. We were taken by events in 1990 till then we were very flourishing in terms of percentage and industry. In 1988-89, we touched about 1 million tourists. I'm only talking about tourists in Kashmir, not the state. The figures would really confuse everybody here if I said added religious tourists for some shrines. And what happened in 99 is known to everybody here. We were overtaken by events, overtaken by disturbances. The whole place was shut. And this phase continued till 1996. Now, what happened in 1996? After the election which took place in 1996, that's where I say that every stakeholder in peace, as also a stakeholder in peace in Kashmir, has to take note of these things. There's nothing which can be looked at in isolation. We can always say we shouldn't talk about politics, but also to look at a situation through all dimensions. 1996, we had an election. And that's how our industry was revived. That's what got us peace. A major initiative where the people became stakeholders in the peace. And that happened in 1996. things were going on. Why I'm giving this history? Because I have been around, and we have, as planners, as policy makers, been looking at these factors. We have not just been looking at figures. It went on very well till 1999. Again, to our misfortune, there was an incursion in Kargil, and we had this Kargil war. Everything collapsed. There was such a great yearning in restoration of peace in Kashmir, both at the governmental level and at the society level. Another, after the peace agreement between India and Pakistan, the industry again revived because some semblance of peace was restored. Then we had other phases as well. Something happened in 2008, something happened in 2000. But the good news is now, it seems, by and large, what has happened in the past has given us some lessons also. And those lessons have been learned. But let me tell you, for Kashmir, tourism is not a segment of the industry. It is the industry in Kashmir. Most of the local investment in Kashmir, in industrial infrastructure, is in the tourism industry, in hospitality industry. Also, from the governmental side, the access which has been created for tourist destinations serves the people as well as the tourist destination. The biggest return, perhaps, this is something unique about Kashmir, from the tourism is not the normal mainstream hospitality, food, transport sector. It is the handicraft sector. And handicraft sector is a great centralized activity, which mostly, by and large, only suppress the benefit of tourism industry. So our stakes are not just in the tourism players or in the tourism infrastructure. It goes beyond that. And that is why it's very essential for a place like Kashmir that we take care of our essential requirements for harmony, for peace. Those are our stakes in this industry, as I said. So that's one aspect of it. Now, certain things have been said here, and I would like to give some clarification or expand on the ideas which have already been generated so that there's a clearer picture of what's happening around. It was said that there has to be regulation in tourism, not just the trade, also in environment, in sustainability, and in responsible tourism. We are the first state in the country which had a tourism regulatory act. And this act was not enforced by a normal kind of a regulatory mechanism. We have a dedicated police force in the Department of Tourism, headed by a senior officer of the police, who is supposed to be implementing the act. I have seen in my experience as Director of Tourism before that and after that as well, the best regulation is self-regulation. The society by itself has to come up and regulate whatever has been said here and whatever has not been said here about the behavior, about business ethics, about conduct. I will not go further on this, but now that the regulatory mechanism and the responsibility of government has come in, saying that government will cure all these things is perhaps a tall order for any government, much less a government like ours. So the society, especially the tourism players, have a big responsibility. They should not be looking towards the government and thinking that they will come and sort these things out. They have to come up and perhaps equally share the burden of administering or creating a discipline in the industry. And I would agree with Suhail when he said that there are issues about integrity, about authenticity, about honesty, as also about things related to climate. Well, I'm sure people have said many things and many things would be said after me. I would like to flag another issue here. That is, a stage has come in Kashmir, and this is perhaps a dividing line, that we are faced with the situation of over-tourism. And for a small place like ours, it's something which needs to be looked at. And I don't think we will go the Venice way where they have to ban tourists for a particular period. But if I tell you that in the month of June, on Boulevard, a child traveling from 4 kilometers from his school had to stay in a vehicle for 2 hours to reach his home because there was so much of tourism, so much of tourist traffic. They couldn't move around. Go to Pahalgam and see what experience we are delivering because of this crowd. And this crowd is going to expand because the greatest piece of infrastructure which Kashmir would otherwise have welcomed is arrival of train. What will happen is every day, 3 times a day as of current schedule, you will have 4,000, 5,000 people landing up in Srinagar at a particular place, and I don't know where they will go. And tourism players have to look at the situation where this over-tourism or excessive tourism or mass will have to be interrogated and looked at. Now, we are a democratic country. You can't stop people from coming. People will travel. And Kashmir is such a great attraction for whole of the country and for good reasons. Can't deny it. But we as planners have not to invest in facilitating over tourism or mass tourism. And how do we do that? We have lots of investments in very cheap accommodation. There are times it is quite more costly to be in Jalandhar or Ludhiana than to be in Srinagar. Sorry, the other way. It's too cheap. It's cheaper to be in Srinagar than in a town, urban space in location in ICT in Ludhiana or here or any other place. The reason is that we have created so much of unorganized tourist accommodation that this flood comes and gets accommodated. Now that is where we need to regulate the whole situation. So a lot of work has to be done back home. And a lot of work has to be done not only by the government, but the stakeholders. Something was said about sustainability and carrying capacity. I'm happy these issues have been flagged here. Sustainability is a big issue for a fragile place like Kashmir. We can't control the damage due to climate change. That is going to happen and that's beyond us. But we can certainly determine carrying capacity and find a way of ensuring that the destinations have already been created or served in a very regulated manner. I would also like to talk about this recent or subject, which is spreading tourism to lesser known destinations. Let me tell you honestly, we don't have many lesser known destinations. We have very few destinations. And most of the destinations have already been opened up. I was in Gurez this year, and the only prayer I had, I was staying with a senior army officer. He asked me about my impression. I said, the only prayer I have is that Gurez should not have been open to tourism. We did that wrong. And the damage tourism is doing to environment is something which we need to address at a time when we would perhaps have some solutions to offer because before it goes out of hand. People have talked about Dal Lake. I don't think figures are right. It has not shrunk in a great way. In the way in which it has been presented, it's not that we're 25 square kilometers, now we are 10 kilometers, but the quality of water is deteriorated. You might have the same geographic area of the lake. Why has that happened? Is there so much of human pressure on the lake that's unbearable? No place in the world can save you from pollution the way Dal is facing if you have unbridled and open access for anybody and everybody. The other thing is about, yeah, sorry.
Sir, please conclude, sir. Yes.
Yeah, I would like to conclude now by saying that the responsibility of protecting the environment, sustainability, natural resource, harmony, and economy of Kashmir, it lies in regulating the tourism. But as I said, responsibility lies in all segments of the civil society as also the governments. Thank you.
Thank you so
Mr.
much.
Arora, just I want to add one point. I'm sorry to
Yes.
interrupt you. Just the Salim sir's the talk is very informative from the grassroots level. But no, we all believe that no, if you just look at India as a whole, we are the peace lovers, given the size of the country in terms of the population and then economy. And definitely we are hopeful, sir. And then whatever the points you have raised, I do agree with you. This the stakeholders, especially the policymakers and bureaucrats, they're supposed to come out with a sustainable model, because we have been talking about sustainability model in the practice, and mostly it is actually missing, as you said, that over tourism and all these issues. So if that is there, that is goes against the peace. So we need to look at right time, and then come out with some kind of appropriate measures to ensure that the peace is in place. And over and above, what I believe, sir, so we the people having all these the differentiations and the diversities, still we have our own value system as Indians, and we all love peace. That is our core strength, sir. And with that, we go ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Shruti, I'm sorry if I may add a quick remark in 20 seconds.
Yes, sir. Please.
With great regards for Salim Saab. You see, I have one point to make over here, what he has already said. The carrying capacity of a tourist destination is a very important aspect. We have a lot of tourist destinations over here where we could probably divert the traffic from Gulmarg to Dadpatri. And Dadpatri further, there is a place called Tosa Maidan. Even if you send lakhs of tourists to that place, they would not be seen there. That's such a huge place. There are endless places in Jammu and Kashmir. But yes, there has to be responsibility from the stakeholders, from the government, from those visiting tourists. There has to be a sense of responsibility that if they are going to those tourist destinations, make sure they do not spoil it, they do not pollute it, they do not create hazards for the local population. That is where the enforcement comes into place. When we say enforcement has to play a very important part, the government has to play a very important part, we do not mean we have to use a stick approach. We have to use a carrot and stick approach, but we have to make sure the laws which are existing, whether be that for the Dal Lake, be that for the forests, be that for the ordinary tourism, the acts, they are implemented on the ground by ways and means. Like Beg Saab said, there is a tourism police force. They must not be sitting idle. They must be doing their work. They must be making sure that no pollution is taking place in the vicinity, in the Dal Lake, in the forests, all those places. This was the quick remark. And yes, a tourist, we cannot stop a tourist from coming to the destination. Like there's a saying, a ship is safe in the harbor, but that's not what the ships are meant to be for, right? So we must welcome the tourists, and at the same time, we must make sure that the place is, kept alive and sustainable. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I would invite Mr. Kuldeep Singh, sir. Sir.
Hello.
Namaskar.
Hello. Yes.
Assalamualaikum.
Mr. Kuldeep Singh, sir, he is the president of Federation of Hospitality and Tourism of Rajasthan, president Hotel and Restaurant Association of Rajasthan, past president Rajasthan Association of Tour Operators. Sir is the former member of governing board of Institute of Hotel Management. Mr. Kuldeep Singh, sir, is also involved in tourism policy making, worked very closely towards getting the industrial status and industrial facilities for Rajasthan state tourism and hospitality industry. Sir, we welcome you here.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry I had to join a little late because I'm in Top Reza, the tourism mart in Paris. And we are talking of Jammu and Kashmir. Very good subject you have chosen. And I must thank Professor Raza and Dr. Anukrati Sharma ji for inviting me also. For Jammu and Kashmir, I've been associated with Jammu and Kashmir since 1980s. I've been going there many, many times. I've been there. And we have our tour company also, which has sent thousands of the tourists there. Jammu and Kashmir is a state which has got tremendous potential of tourism. But unfortunately, Jammu Kashmir government, it seems that they are not doing that big marketing in European market. I am here in Paris today. I was sitting at the Jammu Kashmir stall only. The counter they have taken with the Incredible India Department of Tourism. And I was quite surprised to see that there was a table there and there were no chairs and there was nobody from the Department of Tourism there. So you have put in money to take the stall there, table space there, and nobody from the staff there. So that is quite surprising. I am here at the Rajasthan counter. I'll show you the true pictures of it. Now, this is Rajasthan. Everywhere you'll see the work is happening. You see, people are working. This is a very important tourism fair where thousands of the people visited and everyone is here. And this is the government of India's stall, the pavilion, where you got all the tour companies of India. Most of the companies are here. And Sri Lanka, look at Sri Lanka here. Such a big thing happening here. And here I come to Department of Jammu and Kashmir. These chairs, I pulled them to put them here. This is Jammu and Kashmir, and this is again Jammu and Kashmir. And nobody is here. Now, how do we promote tourism for inbound tourism? After COVID, we suffered a lot. There was no inbound tourism. We only depended on domestic tourism. Now, how long will we depend on domestic tourism? We need to have inbound tourism also. Government of Rajasthan has spent so much of money here. We have especially come here to be part of the department, not to promote my own property, but to promote Rajasthan in all. Okay, now small countries, I'll show you the example. The small countries like Cuba, they have brought Cuba here. Now this is Karnataka. Karnataka has got the entire stall here made and people are doing businesses. I'm showing the real picture of what is happening here. Now this is Sri Lanka. There's Tamil Nadu there. This is Malaysia. Now you see on every table you'll find tourists work coming, tour operators coming, everybody is doing business. Now this is Vietnam Airlines here. So we have to be very, very serious. We have to be committed. We really want inbound tourism because inbound tourism is very important. I used to work. I had my travel company, which is still there. And we used to bring big groups to Kashmir and we used to sell so many carpets and all people used to buy. It used to help the industry in Kashmir with paper mache work and all. This is Tamil Nadu. You can see people here. Now it is almost 5:30 here, so people are gradually going. But still everybody is doing the business. You see? Now, I don't know. I'm quite surprised to see. Now this is Kazakhstan, very small country. And they brought entire Kazakhstan here. Can't we bring Kashmiri ladies and gents with Kashmiri dresses here and show them the Kashmiri culture here? It is very, very important. Now this is Rajasthan. Such a big stall we have. Department of Tourism. You see? And this is India Pavilion here. So you get the first-hand information about it. It is very, very important to be serious about the business. And we can bring a lot of inbound tourism to Kashmir. Kashmir needs inbound tourism also. Kashmir lived on inbound tourism for decades. And I remember since the 1980s, our company used to bring so many groups there. Houseboats were full. And we still have very great contact with all the houseboat owners. Kashmir has got a lot to offer. Lot to offer. And the seriousness to bring inbound tourism is very important. Like government of Rajasthan, I'm here representing Rajasthan. Rajasthan is ready to, I spoke to my tourism minister, who's our deputy chief minister also. And she said, not only participating in international marts, we have to do road shows internationally. So I'm in talks with people here. We'll be doing road shows in France, in a couple of places, then England, then other countries also. So unless we spend, unless we have a vision, we can't really grow bigger. This is what saying. We have to be serious. Thank you so very much.
May I add a remark over here?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Singh, thank you very much, first of all, bringing light to this, the pathetic state of affairs from the Jammu and Kashmir tourism, what could be the likely reason that the stall is unattended? And I appeal to the Honorable Governor of Jammu and Kashmir and the Tourism Ministry to look into this. This looks like a controversy has erupted in the middle of a webinar, whereby accidentally we were discussing Kashmir and we are seeing the government exchequer, the money is being spent and the stall is being left unattended. The government should take serious note of this. What could be the likely reason for this, please?
What happens is many times the government decides at the last moment and the officials can't obtain the visas. So they can't travel also. But you know that international fairs are fixed. You can have the dates of 2025, 26, plan in advance, have the file moved, have the political clearance, have the financial clearances much before. So that what happens that you take your stall and you invite houseboat owners, the Kashmir tour operators there, let them give the table space. Now, each table space, the Department of Tourism, Government of Rajasthan sells, for example, for 1 lakh rupees. But they spend 1 crore on the stall also. There's a whole team of French ladies and all. They are here to help everyone out here. So there's a total, you need a total proper planning for it.
Absolutely, the government must look into this serious issue whereby, the stakeholders at the ground level are fighting it hard to promote tourism and to serve the visiting tourists. And at a global level, we are seeing stalls are unattended. This is a serious concern for the government.
Yeah. And also Kashmir, apart from tourism, you have got great opportunity of golf tourism also. I have come to Kashmir a couple of times to play golf. Fantastic. It's like heaven. Be it in Pahalgam or be in Srinagar. I mean, given a chance, I would come every day to play golf there. And golf is loved by the world. So you can have golf tourism marts in Japan, in Australia, in America, in England. People will come their private charters there to play golf because it's a heaven.
And exactly that's one of the reasons that Institute of Tourism is establishing a permanent research center in Kashmir, because that's very important. And that's actually very important for the whole world is a showcase. We must succeed in Kashmir to show the whole world about the tourism, the positive impact that it can have. As we all know, also India is neighboring Pakistan, India is neighboring China. So we are talking about almost 4 billion people living around this area. And if we are successful in this case, we can show it can be also used as in South America, in Africa. There are so many conflicts now, and we have now the Cold War era, unfortunately, again, between the East and the West and the let's say Russia and the Western countries now. So it is very important that we in somehow Kashmir can be a showcase, an example how peace and the development and tourism and peace can be used for for the rest of the world. Yeah.
So outcome of this webinar, outcome of this webinar, maybe prepared a small note, concept note, and then the Kashmir Institute of Tourism, the body, can submit this to the government, because with all these points, so that there will be some impact, the positive impact. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you, Professor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now, I would like to invite Dr.
May I
Sangeeta
leave?
Tripathi, ma'am.
May I leave because I have to attend the customers here.
Right. Nice to see you.
Thank you, sir.
Screen.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Now, I would like to invite
Huh?
Dr. Sangeeta
1%
Tripathi, ma'am.
yeah.
Sangeeta ma'am is currently an assistant professor of mass communication at the University of Technology and Applied Sciences, Oman, and was previously associated with the Institute of Management Studies, Noida, India. Dr. Sangeeta has started her career as a TV generalist. She has been active in communication and mass media research, and her areas of work are public relations, advertising, media education, online media, and tourism communication. She attended the Oxford Summer Policy School in London in 2019. She was awarded the UN Gold Ambassador Award in March 2022 for cooperating with UN SDC 05. Ma'am, we welcome you.
Thank you, Dr. Shruti.
Thank you.
And thank you, Dr. Reza. And thank you, Dr. Anukriti Sharma ji, for giving me an opportunity to share my thought here. You might be thinking that it is a tourism topic and how I'm from media and I'm going to talk about it. So actually, I was just listening to you all and I found that everybody is talking about the sustainable tourism. But my question is that when we're talking about the sustainable tourism, the basic pillar of the tourism is, we can say that there are three: the government and the host community and the tourist. So the government and different stakeholders are responsible for facilitating tourism infrastructure and the policy making, as we all know, while the host community is facilitator for basic needs to the tourist. Image building part is related to the media and the government in the international level and the media tourism. It shapes tourist perceptions regarding tourist destination and changes local community attitude towards tourism development. So Kashmir has tremendous potentials in tourism sector. However, the tense political situation has hindered the state economic growth and the tourism industry in one of the primary victims. The industry success relies on effort of all stakeholders, including the media, in creating a positive and welcoming image of the destination. As everybody was talking, like tourism is having more potential in Kashmir, and because of the conflict and some crisis, political crisis, it is actually getting affected. Yes, but the media role here can influence the peace process and promote Kashmir as a premium tourist destination, which cannot be overrated. As we all know, Kashmir, beautiful landscape, rich cultural heritage, and pictures lake have long inspired poets and travelers alike, earning it the moniker of paradise on earth. So, I have also been in Switzerland and I have also been in Kashmir. So I can say that what I found difference in both the places, as an European, when I met them, I found a little bit arrogance. But when I visited Srinagar, I found that people are more friendly there. And the most important thing, that they are ready to help. So that is actually a strength which I felt myself as a However, the reason long-standing political turmoil has overshadowed its tourism potential. The role of media in framing the conflict is particularly consequential, as it can either perpetuate cycles of violence and mistrust or contribute to creating an environment conducive to peace building and sustainable tourism development. So here, the previous studies which I read, that shows me that coverage of Kashmir conflict in Indian press tend to prioritize national security, concern over human rights considerations, with the perspectives of light or other narratives, including those pretended to understanding the deep sense of the problem. Sometimes the media is also being utilized by separatists to show or to create a different narrative, amplify their own narrative, and garner international attention toward the Kashmir issues. This has also damaged the image of Kashmir as a peaceful tourist destination, which I understand. Ultimately, the media role in Kashmir conflict is complex and multifaceted, of one with insignificant implications for the recent future. The nature of the coverage of the situation by the Indian press is actually just opposed against the actual situation in the Kashmir Valley as depicted by alternate media sources. This imbalance in media narratives that can have significant implications on the prospects of peace and the development of Kashmir tourism industry. By adopting a more balanced and constructive approach to reporting on the region, media can contribute to the creation of more established and peaceful environment, which is essential for the growth of tourism industry and positively impact the local economy. However, previous studies have found that the Indian press tend to adopt a polarized forming of the Kashmir conflict, often portraying it as a binary struggle between Indian security forces and the local separatists. This narrow, simplistic portrayal overlooked the nuanced historical value, political value, and humanitarian complexity that define the Kashmir issues perfectly. So when I'm talking about the media can highlight immense potential as tourist destinations. Here I'm going to mention one example, which is related to a northern island. So that we can say that how they have utilized media and how media has joined the hand together with the government and local stakeholder to promote the country tourism. But before that, I just want to conclude a few things related to Kashmir that has been renowned for its natural beauty, diverse cultural heritage, and hospitable local community. However, the prolonged conflict and resultant instability have severely hampered the growth of tourism industry in the region. Researchers suggest that effective destination marketing and balanced contextual media coverage of the conflict and its implications for Kashmiri society and the economy play a pivotal role in fostering great understanding and paving the path of sustainable peace and tourism development. A positive portrayal of Kashmir tourism attractions could have revitalized the local economy and create employment opportunities for Kashmiri youngsters, thereby contributing to long-term stability and the peace. As a powerful media tool, we can reframe the narrative about Kashmir, moving away from dominant discourse of conflict and violence and instead focusing on regional rich cultural diversity and natural wonder and resilience of its people. So what kind of approach media need to adopt in covering the Kashmir issues? So basically what is happening when we are talking about, when we are delivering our information to media, through media to the people, it affects them in the surrounding where they are living, or they are perceiving the message. So depending upon how we are decoding and how they are encoding the message, the same message I'm forwarding, but the person and at the other end, how he is receiving, what kind of circumstances he is in, and what kind of mindset he is in. So that is actually media ecology framework, which I can say that it is very perfect understanding about the media evolving narratives and their impact on the people perceptions as comprehensive approach. This framework emphasizes the crucial role of the media in shaping public discourse. It underscores the need to examine the interplays between various media platforms, stakeholders, interests, and the broader social political context. The persistent conflict and associated security concern have posed significant challenges to developing a robust tourism industry. So by adopting how media can contribute to here, so I suggest that by adopting peace journalism, which is a responsible form of journalism, can be done, which can help shifting the discourse from war-oriented to the peace-oriented framing, So it can highlight the human stories, the economic and social cost of conflict, the potential pathway for sustainable conflict resolution and development. An authentic, neutral, and nuanced media portrayal of Kashmir while addressing the conflict and human rights issues and focusing on its rich cultural heritage, natural assets could help transform the region into premium tourist destination. I will add here now the Northern Ireland example, though both the countries, the issues were different, but here we can learn something from the Northern Ireland media, how they contribute to the peace process. However, both the countries' situations are different. Their issues, conflict causes, and effect differs, but a positive Northern Ireland media approach can bring here a new dimensions to the peace process and tourist development. So here I will add that how they did this. So in the case of Northern Ireland, the media played a critical role in transforming the region's image from one associated with the conflict and violence to one thriving tourist destination. After the Good Friday Agreement, which had been made in 1998, the media shifted its focus from the political and security dimension to the conflict to the region-rich cultural heritage, scenic landscape, beauty, and vibrant cities. This shift of media framing helped to challenge the longest-standing stereotype and generated renewed interest in Northern Ireland as a tourist destination. Rather than dwelling on the past, the media highlighted the recent progress towards peace and stability, showcasing its ability to offer a unique and safe travel experience. Now I'm just concluding. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, please.
So the media role in promoting tourism offer valuable lesson for Kashmir and collaboration with local tourism authorities. The media can also play a significant role to promote the Kashmir tourism. India and Pakistani media can also help to reframe the narrative around Kashmir. So this would contribute to Kashmir economy, but also help to foster environment conducive to sustainable peace and reconciliation. Okay. So in this here, hello, are you listening?
Yes, ma'am. It's audible.
Yeah. So in recent year, the media coverage of Kashmir, I can see that it started shifting with some outlets highlighting the reason tourism potential and the effort of the local stakeholders to revive the industry. The success of Kashmir tourism industry is not solely depend on media, but however, it is also require the active participation and contribution of all stakeholders, including the government, local communities, and tourist operator. By working together to create a sustainable and inclusive tourism ecosystem, Kashmir can not only capitalize on its natural assets, but also contribute to the overall peace and stability in the region. The media role in this process can be crucial as it shapes public perceptions and influence policymakers' decisions by adapting to balance and conducive approach to reporting on Kashmir. The media can help foster a more conducive environment for tourism development and ultimately contribute to the peace process. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for such a nice time to share my thought here.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for letting us know the benefits of media in promoting the tourism. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Fayaz Ahmed, sir. Fayaz Ahmed, sir, is presently the owner of Tulip Tour and Travels. Formerly, he was front desk manager at SKICC Kashmir, former president of TASK, member of various environmental protections groups. With over 4 decades of experience in hospitality and tourism, He is an ideal debater with a clear tourism vision acquired from his experience in different capacities in Jammu and Kashmir, India. Sir, we welcome you here. Sir, you're muted.
Unmute yourself, sir.
Sir, you are not audible.
Reza, you need to unmute yourself.
Sir, please, and you're not audible.
Just click on the unmute. Okay, it's okay now.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Raza and Shrutiji. You are doing a wonderful host.
Thank you so much.
God bless you all. And however, I would like to request you to request all my colleagues who are who will be speaking here. Let us be confined to the topic rather than an open debate, because that is unnecessarily, we are haunting on the time. And now, ladies and gentlemen, have you ever wondered what makes a place truly extraordinary? Imagine a land where breathtaking beauty, rich culture, and tumultuous history converge into a unique experience that is Kashmir, often described as paradise on earth. William Dalrymple once said Kashmir is a paradise on earth, a land of extraordinary beauty and wonder. Indeed, Kashmir is renowned for its stunning landscapes and vibrant culture, yet its history of conflict has impacted its tourism industry, economy, and peace. Let me share a personal story that captures the essence of Kashmir. One of my earliest childhood memories is visiting Dal Lake with my father. I was mesmerized as the sunrise painted the mountains in hues of gold. The tranquility of the lake and the warm smiles of the locals left a lasting impression on me. It is experiences like these that make Kashmir enchanting and inspiring. Tourism holds immense potential for Kashmir's economy, creating jobs and showcasing its beauty to the world. In 2023, Kashmir welcomed over 1 million tourists. While this supports the local economy, it also highlights the need for sustainable practices to protect this fragile paradise. To maximize tourism's benefits, we must develop a sustainable infrastructure, ensure safety, and promote cultural exchange. Peace is the cornerstone of tourism. We need to create a welcoming and secure environment for visitors, focusing on cultural events, festivals, and fostering connections. As a local guide once said, Kashmir is not just a place, it's a feeling, a part of our hearts. We hope visitors leave with a piece of that feeling. This reflects the deep connection locals have with their land. We must also highlight Kashmir's unique culture, including its music, art, and cuisine. Developing ecotourism, adventure tourism, spiritual tourism, and responsible tourism is crucial. Kashmir's rich artistic traditions, such as carpets and shawls and culinary delights like Vazavan, are major attractions. Festivals and local traditions provide insight into the local way of life, making Kashmir a truly enriching destination. Landmarks like the Mughal gardens and the ancient temples, along with popular spots like Gulmarg, Pahalgam, Sonmarg, offer visitors unforgettable experiences. However, the influx of tourists poses risk to Kashmir's fragile ecosystem. Pollution, deforestation, and strain on local resources threaten sustainable tourism. We must prioritize protecting Kashmir's natural beauty through regular waste management, promoting eco-friendly transport, and preserving natural habits. Cleanup drives and responsible trekking practices should be enforced, and both visitors and locals should be educated about minimizing environmental impacts. Engaging local communities in tourism planning is crucial to ensure benefits are widely distributed. Training programs can enhance stakeholders' responsibilities and effectiveness. Imagine a future where local communities shape tourism policies for more equitable and sustainable outcomes. Implementing and enforcing regulations to manage tourist activities is essential for sustainability. This includes setting visitors' limits in sensitive areas, adhering to environmental standards, and monitoring tourism impact on local communities. The global issue of over-tourism underscores the urgency of these measures. Reflect on how you can contribute to preserving Kashmir's beauty, supporting local artisans, practicing eco-friendly travel, and spreading awareness about sustainable tourism are all valuable actions. Let's work together to address the challenges facing Kashmir tourism industry. Envision a future where Kashmir thrives as a global tourism destination, celebrated for its peace, sustainability, and cultural richness. With your support, we can make this vision a reality. Together, let's make Kashmir the most sought-after destination in the world, where people come to experience its beauty, culture, and warmth. Let us join hands to develop tourism and promote peace in Kashmir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir said it correct that Kashmir is not a place, it's a feel. We should feel about Kashmir. It's a very beautiful place.
Thank
We
you.
are just towards the closing only. So if there is any question you may ask.
Excuse me, can I just ask a question?
Yes.
This is Dr. Iqbal Bhatt. I'm the native of the Kashmir. Due to certain reasons, I cannot, open my video. I'm the native of Kashmir and I'm an academician. I'm working as an assistant professor in the Department of Tourism and Travel Studies at Berhampur University, Odisha. So there were, a lot of discussion has happened on the promotion of sustainable tourism practices and the importance of tourism for peace. So being the native of the Kashmir, I know that I have been outside for almost a decade now. Professor Venkat might be knowing me. My point here is that, and I do agree with the majority of the issues which have been raised there. But we have to remember one thing, that in tourism, we have the concept of seasonality. So we have to keep in mind that tourism normally has 3 seasons, as per my basic knowledge about the tourism. There's a peak season, there's a lean season, there's an off season. And when we talk about the tourism activities, there are the leisure tourism activities. And now after the COVID-19 pandemic, now tourists are actually shifting towards the destinations which are, nature centric or rural centric. So we are now promoting these concepts. So my point here is that, as previously Salim Sahab has rightly said, that Kashmir is a very small place, and keeping the sensitivities into consideration, we may not go into those details. We welcome the tourists. They have always been welcomed to the Kashmir. Kashmir has been receiving the tourists from the times immemorial. So they are welcomed. Leisure tourists, we cannot stop. But as far as opening the new destinations, we have to keep into consideration the seasonality point. During the peak season, we cannot take these leisure tourists to the destinations which are pristine in nature. Again, in case of destinations, we have developed destinations, underdeveloped destinations, and those destinations which are not yet developed. So if we are trying to open those destinations during the leisure time, I think there will be a problem. So what would be done? Rightly, someone just raised the point about the golf tourism. So there are the potential areas, golf tourism. I myself am practicing ecotourism. I have, ecotourism is my, specialization area. So we can promote these, these concepts but it may not be possible during the peak seasons. And Kashmir's golden triangle, as these travel operators are there, Faiz Saab is there, he knows that golden triangle, Srinagar, Gulmarg, Pahalgam, and Sonmarg. These are the major destinations which tourists know. And there are a lot of issues related to travel agents and tour operators who are sitting in the metropolitan cities. They promote these areas, which is absolutely fine. I'm not against that. But we need to promote other destinations, keeping into consideration the sustainability concept. So we can promote responsible tourism, sustainable tourism, ecotourism, golf tourism. These are the issues which can, bring peace. Tourism in itself is a peace. So it will bring tourists to Kashmir, and quality tourists, not only the leisure tourists or the pilgrim tourists. We need quality tourists who are high spenders, who can spend a lot. And for that matter, we have to take into consideration the infrastructural issues also. Since I'm outside, but I know in Sonmarg, I'm the native of the Gandarbal district. Sonmarg falls in my jurisdiction. I know about the Sonmarg. The infrastructure is on the peak, and Sindh River, which is a very prominent river. Everybody knows about the Sindh River. There are a lot of issues. So these issues have to be taken into consideration, and we must promote the new concepts of the tourism so that local community gets help. And as also we may help in promoting the peaceful coexistence of the Union of India in general. And also we have to promote the Kashmir at the global forum. As someone rightly said, that US has issued an advisory, and they have said that don't visit certain Indian places. They have said something about Delhi also, if I'm not wrong. Professor Venkat may correct me. And they have said that Kashmir is a very sensitive place, so don't visit that place. So in that matter, we have to do some serious work and try to get the quality foreign tourists to the Kashmir. That will help us in bringing the sustainability issues into consideration and help us building peaceful relations, because Kashmir is always, we say that in Hindi, we say Kashmir Bharat ka Taj hai. So we have to protect it. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So Dr. Iqbal, you have raised very valid points. I do agree with you. And only thing is, perceptual orientation is very much required, and where the media can play a very important role.
Right.
The perception in the sense, the safety and security. As you mentioned, the US and then the media from other part of the world, how they are actually looking at and then trying to brand Jammu Kashmir and some parts. So there, I think our media is supposed to play a very important role to create that kind of positive, that the perceptual orientation across. That's very important. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Can I add one point over here?
Yes, sir, please.
We have not touched the aviation part of it, which is part and parcel of the tourism. I forgot to add in my earlier talk, the government of India seriously needs to reconsider keeping the airport functional 24/7. As on date, the airport is functional till, I believe, till 8-9 p.m. and lots of flights are coming in. The limited functionality of the airport only adds up to the flight costs during the peak season. The government of India, the government of Jammu and Kashmir must reconsider, they must keep the airport functional 24/7 so that the more number of flights come from different destinations to Jammu and Kashmir, and the packages that the tour operators, the travel agents promote, they're more affordable. Once Prime Minister Modi remarked in Kashmir, in one of his speeches, I believe in SKICC, he said, Delhi-Dubai air ticket is cheaper than Delhi-Srinagar. So to promote Kashmir tourism, that particular point I'm touching on, need to consider this fact as well. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Arora, I have not spoken. I am Faiz Bakshi here. I have not spoken. What is the matter? I lost the link. You have given to me the second speaker. And then I don't know what happened.
So sorry, sir.
I was supposed to be second speaker, but somehow I lost the link.
Actually, yes, we announced your name, and there was some network issue, I think.
Go ahead, sir. Now, very sorry, but she announced you, and we wait. I think you couldn't get in. So please.
So you may start.
I would like to make I would like to make very important points, bullet points. First, I can't understand why is it as the best as the peace, the peace can be at its best. For the last 5 years, 6 years, there has not been an incident. And other day you saw in the France, Mr. Kuldeep was speaking from France. There were international games. France was burning on one side, but the games were taking place. And the second, I would like to take Mr. Kuldeep Singh, because there are advisories against Kashmir, international, even France. So maybe the government did not participate. Why to go participate in a place, in a fair where there are advisories? Number three, I would like to say that speaker after speaker, Speaker and Mrs. Tripathi said about the press, that what press should do and what the press should not do. But the Kashmir tourism over decades has suffered from bad press. They have given us a very bad Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh, but three provinces, we are 84,000 square miles. That means 132,000 square miles area. And if there is an incident, if there is an accident, if there is a firing from a place which is from Kashmir, which is 200, 300 kilometers away, they reported from Srinagar that there is trouble and there is turmoil in Srinagar. So what I should, she has spoken well, and what I should do, that press has been a spoiled spot of our tourism. Even a very small incident, they have blown out of proportion. That should not happen. We need to change the press. And the third, they say, I would not go to what Mr. Beg has said. He has narrated the incidents truthfully, and which happened during that period of our history that was bad for us. But now I would move away from that. Now, speaker after speaker says that we have the problem of over-tourism. If we have the problem of over-tourism, so where is the lack of peace? A tourist will go only to a place which is peaceful, which they find. 22, we had more than 10 million, including Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh, including Vaishno Devi. 23, we had more than, Mr. Beg said, more than 2 million, and Mr. Salim said more than Mr. Samadha said. But I've been in tourism business, in hotel business for 42 years, and 22, 23, up to 24 June were the best of the years. The bumper tourism, we have seen this. In 1988-89, we got about 1 million out of this 98 were foreigners. But this time, we have crossed that. So that was a peaceful time, and our tourism has tripled. This is a proof enough that Kashmir has peace. There's no problem. Tourists are coming. I'm in the hotel business. For the last 3 years, I have been receiving 90% of IT professionals, are those who are born after 90. They come, they send their parents, they send their sisters, they send their friends, they say they've enjoyed. And more so, when we speak of sustainability, what does sustainability mean? A sustainable tourism means that we need to take the benefits of tourism to the extreme, to the remote corners, so that the profits and so the returns and the benefits of tourism reach to the lowest strata of people. There are three aspects of sustainable tourism. One is that it should go to the extreme, to the remote areas. That is why the government, Mr. Narendra Modi, and before that, there is a Samtech report, 3,400-page Samtech report, jointly authored by Government of India, Department of Tourism, and Government of Jammu and Kashmir, which recommended that time that we should have 20 development authorities. These development authorities have gone. How do you empower? How do you take Viksit Bharat to a village? How do you How do you raise his standard of living? How do you have to bring him above the poverty line? That is the reason that this homestay aspect has been opened, because any person having 1 room, 3 rooms, 4 rooms, he can, out of that 4 rooms, give 1 or 2 rooms to tourists. And other day I was in the Badgam area, it's 25 kilos. I could see any remote area, tourists living there. I interacted with them, say we like this type of place. I have a hotel, a budget hotel, and people told me, you come now, these are the times of bigger TV, 53-inch, some said 72 inches. So I have small, I got 34 inches, but I don't see any tourists watching TV because TV is in your room. What we need an infrastructure. We need an international airport. Our government is looking at receiving, the master plan is here, here in my ear. They are looking at receiving 7 million tourists by 2035. For that, we need an airport. For that, we need roads. For that, we need transport. For that, we need power. For that, we need water. And for that, we need other infrastructure, which is not there, on which the government should work. And now, if you see, I studied, I do have data, that the tourism is the fastest growing industry in the world. Fastest. I am speaking about the pre-COVID. I can give you figures. And tourism is the largest employment generating. And as per the reports of the government report, Kashmir, the largest employer is the tourism sector. As on today, about 10 lakh people trained, skilled, unskilled, and trained and educated, they get employment by this tourism industry. Now, what do we do? The skill development is done. They have no so what we do need is that it is not a problem of our tourism, maybe, but it is the problem is of mismanaging the tourists. I can tell you one thing. We have no data. When they say figures, they say 53 lakhs 25,731. These tourists have come. Where from do this figure 31? But 731? They don't have any scientific data of calculating or how many tourists. I travel, my family travels every year to Delhi, Bombay. We travel 4 or 5 times, we are 4 people, so 20. They calculate as tourists, and we thankfully get a lot of that artisans and this labor class, about 10 lakh. They are also counted. My point is that in the absence of data, how do we know how much is tourism footfall and how much infrastructure do we look at? How many hotels? Now they say every time, I'm an environmentalist, I fight, I've gone to High Court fighting fight public interest litigation for implementation of solid waste management rules 2016. I've got for demarcation of wildlife sanctuaries. I've gone for protection and preservation, conservation of our wetlands, and many orders have been issued. Many orders are being implemented. This is what, and now I see in this, our tourism destinations need, they say 300. No, we don't need 300. Let us take 5, 6 new tourism destinations, Dotpatri, maybe Bangas, any other thing. Let's develop them. Let's have a plan. Let's have a policy. Let's have an aesthetically and landscape planning for that, so that it's developed. But the problem we face, we first develop, it has happened. First, we develop a destination, then we bring in a tourism master plan, then we bring other plans, then we say, no, this is legal and this is illegal. This happened in 2004 when Mufti Muhammad Said, late, Jannat usko nasib ho, he, because tourism started coming, tensions had becoming normalcy was returning. He said, we don't have, because 300-400 hotels were occupied by government employees and by security forces, by police, by political forces. He says, okay, open. So he said, convert whosoever has a house, convert that into a guest house. Okay? Guest house up to 12 rooms. So houses were converted into guest house. Registrations were given. They were given all. Now after 20 years, they are being asked, where is your commercial permission? Why is your commercial permission? If they were asked, they would given government had given them permission and registration and everything. Now my point is again, now we come 2,500 homestays are registered and we welcome them. They have a right. If there's a 100, 200 room hotel, as someone having 4 rooms, he can give 1 or 2 rooms. Now the problem is they are being asked by commercial up to this is a residential activity all over. I've read Uttarakhand, I have studied Himachal, I have studied other places. Homestay all over the world is a residential activity, but they are being said this is a commercial activity. Just a person who is having 4 rooms, uske 2 data, if he is being charged at a commercial rate, the power, the water, and he's also being asked to show us that commercial, tomorrow land is commercial. It's a residential activity. Let's not make them and let's not harass them. And unless and until the fruits and benefits reach to the lower strata, we cannot have a sustainable tourism. Sustainability tourism is only one. I'm a hotelier. It's not only my right. Someone is a transporter. Someone is a travel agent. It's not only their right. The right is, I'll give you one example. In Gulmarg, there are 400-500 poniwalas they operate. They come from Rajouri. They come from Punch. They come from far places. The nearest place where a poniwala goes to Gulmarg is 25 kilometers. So tourism has a potential of generating employment. It has a potential of providing livelihood, opportunities of livelihood to people who come there to earn 200, 300. And this potential no industry in the world has. The only tourism is. So let's go. I'm an anonymous. I want that green belt areas should not be touched. Those should be conserved. There's a pressure. There's a lot of pressure. There's a pressure on our water bodies. There's a pressure on our wetlands. That should not happen. Government must talk and they must sensibly act, because Kashmir has the landscape, it has the natural resources, it has the peaks, it has the forests, it has these rivers, and tourists comes only to see this. We don't have any leisure, we don't have any nightclubs, we don't have any other. We have leisure tourism, we have adventure tourism, we have religious tourism, and we are very happy and we are very proud that we do have host about more than 10 million religious tourists into Vaishnav Devi and Amarnath Ji or Hazrat Bal. We host them, and we as Kashmiri are rated, and every speaker said who have visited here that we are incomparable host in the world. I have myself traveled all over, but the name Kashmir carries a name. Kashmir is a name. Kashmir is a brand. But as every speaker has said, that we need to preserve, we need to conserve. But one thing at the end, the topic was wrong. Kashmir Tourism and Peace. Peace should not have been. We are at peace ourselves. We are a peaceful place. Where government says 20 million people visit Kashmir, how can 20 million people visit Kashmir if it is not peaceful? This is my question, I think, and many of the speakers, they didn't speak about Kashmir. Mr. Kuldeep Singh ji spoke, but he was a bit, I didn't like what he said. Kashmir, yaar, ye we promote wagara karte hain. That was not in bad taste. If he had to promote and he had to see that he should not have presented Kashmir in a very bad taste. That was in bad taste. That he should not have done. He should have been sitting there brilliant chairman sitting there that I am Kashmir. I am promoting Kashmir. He's Indian. I am Indian. Rajasthan is India. He should have placed himself by I am Kashmir. Come to Kashmir instead of. And secondly, Mr. Pati, that bad press has done us very bad. They say Kashmir ye hua. यहाँ से पिछले last week there were some incidents on the border, India-Pakistan border. So peace is not peace in Srinagar. It's peace at the border or lack of peace. It's at the border areas. It's at the frontiers. We need to be peace at ourselves. There has to be, there has
we can conclude here.
And there has to be peace between man and animal. Conflict has not to be there. When we go into forest, we go into their habitat. They come into our place, and then it's so thank you so much for listening to me very patiently. I thanks Dr. Reza and Madam and every speaker and my colleagues Salim Beg Saab, Fayaz Saab and Salim Dar Saab. I thank all of you for listening to me very patiently. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I just want to thanks again Dr. Sharma and Dr. Arora for the wonderful job they have done. And from tomorrow, the recording will be available. That's very important webinar, and I'm very sure it will have lots of impact on the Kashmir tourism in the coming months. And I have learned lots. So thank you so much, everybody. And from tomorrow, the recording and the biography of the speakers will be there as well. Yes, sir.
Can I just get 10 seconds? Since
Sure.
Mr. Faiz Bakshi is here, Secretary General for Chamber of Commerce in Jammu and Kashmir. I wanted to discuss this earlier, but I forgot. Swiss hospitality management is world renowned.
Yeah.
Can we as Kashmiris set up hotel management institutes across Jammu and Kashmir and promote the educational tourism, especially the hotel and tourism studies? Unfortunately, we only have a hotel management institute, one government hotel management institute, and lately the tourism studies have been started at Kashmir University. Can we be the educational hub as good as?
I give Salim Saab, I give you one good news that IUST, Islamic University, is also going. I am on the board there. They are also going to open one tourism university is being there, adding that to their university. And this point we had raised in 2012 when I was president of Hotel Association with Ghulam Nabi Azad and when he was minister. And we had said that kindly establish one tourism university in Kashmir, in Jammu and Kashmir, so that it becomes tourism hub.
Let private players, besides investing in hotels, invest in the educational institutes.
Sure, sir. I will say, Dar Saab, I will take your message to the people here who can invest. But this now is good news that we are getting investment in tourism, we are getting investment in education, we are getting investment in health sectors. We're getting a lot of investments. And we're open, let people come, let they join locals also. Because I have the privilege of meeting the Lieutenant Governor Saab 15 times in last 20 months since I have been. And he's very positive. He has been working. Investors come from Dubai. Investors have come from Europe. They come from America. They are coming. They are setting their base. We have there's a 1,25,000 crore investment is in pipeline, but about 10,000 crore investment is already made here. So we look forward to a very, very bright future. May Allah and may God give us the resilience and the will to serve people and prove our credentials as the best hospitality people in the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. I think we have to conclude now. Thank you so much. So this will continue for sure. Thank you so much.
Look forward to
that. We would like to extend our heartfelt thanks for all attending the virtual summit on Kashmir Tourism and Peace, Uniqueness and Sustainability. A big thanks to all the dignitaries present here who blessed us with their presence. Mr. Faiz Bakshi, Mr. Ajay Prakash, Mr. Kuldeep Singh, Professor Venkatrao, Mohammad Suheldar, Professor N.K. Joshi, Professor Ravikant Modi, Dr. Sangeeta Tripathi, Mr. Faiz Ahmed, Mr. Salim Beg, and of course, a special thanks to Dr. Reza Sultani and Dr. Anukriti Sharma, because of whom only we all are able to connect with each other. It has been such an honor to be a part of this wonderful event. And for closing, I would like to say one line that if time is money, then today we have spent millions for us. Thank you, Anand. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
God bless you and God bless the Kashmir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye.